is where we start our journey at Attingham Park. I hope you continue to watch this video to the end. I've got some interesting information to share with you about the park itself. We've got some beautiful views, absolutely fantastic views on the grounds of this park. And we're also going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed if we're lucky, seeing some deer today. So stick with me as we explore Attingham Park. Okay, so here we are all parked up. This is the entrance to Attingham Park. This is where you show your National Trust cards, or you pay, I think, about £10 or £15 entrance fee if you're not a National Trust member. I think one of the reasons why I'm starting this series is to try and promote the National Trust, especially during the current times with the pandemic. These are some of the most beautiful places to visit in relative safety when you can be outdoors, experiencing some of the beautiful British countryside, seeing some British history as well. But hey, I'm going to sign in and let's go and explore. I've just walked into the courtyard, I believe it's called. Now, I have a suspicion that in the heyday of this property, this would have been horse stables. Maybe someone can leave a comment who's more familiar with the history of this place and can tell me if I'm right or wrong. That's the cafe there. And from what I've read online, all the produce that is grown on this site is served in the cafe as well, which is lovely. Wow, what an incredibly beautiful garden. Beautiful flowers, lovely archways to walk through. And I believe, if I'm right in thinking, that's either a pear or an apple tree. They've got to be pears. Surely they're pears. I'm going to go out on a whim and say they're pears. Someone embarrass me in the comments if they're not. A beautiful pear tree, nice clear sunshine above. I think this is the last day of beautiful weather over the next few days, so I'm glad I came today. But what a beautifully maintained garden. Lovely pathways. Beautiful colours. It's walking through places like this that I think, I'd love this to be in my back garden. But then reality hits and you think, this would be nice for maybe 3 or 4 days until you have to start maintaining it. The amount of effort and work that goes into maintaining all of these grounds, and this is just one part. We've got an orchard up ahead that we're going to look at in a minute. We've also got another part of the garden where some other produce is grown just further up. But yeah, you must need a dedicated team of people to maintain this and work on this area to keep it as beautiful as it is. That smells absolutely amazing. That's such a strong smell. Wow, that is beautiful. I think you could just come here and spend the day just smelling flowers. Let's try and smell one more. Oh, wow. Wow. That is infusing my nose. And what trees are these? Those must be apple trees. What a huge apple tree. I bet it's lovely picking them in the summer. Okay, now we're going to continue our walk onto something called the Deer Park Walk, which takes us through a little gateway, over a little bridge, over some waterways, which looks absolutely fantastic. And hopefully we'll see some deer as well. Just coming up to a nice little footbridge here, going across a waterway. Isn't that a lovely spot to come for a stick for your dog? And I believe this, or somewhere near here, is where you can hire your kayaks. And off he goes. He loves that stick, doesn't he? Quite tempting, isn't it, to jump in?
So are you on YouTube?
I'm on YouTube, yeah. If you type in Brendan Explores, and you'll see a lot of my content. Are you local to Shropshire?
No, we're from Norfolk.
Oh, okay.
We're just on holiday for a couple of weeks.
All right. Well, if you want to see more of Shropshire, because obviously the pandemic and not being able to move around a lot, there's loads of stuff on there.
Yeah.
If you want to explore it more,
Brendan
hopefully you can do it through the video.
Okay.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.
You too. That's nice. Always nice to meet people that are interested in what you're doing. Wow. Isn't that cool? Might just take a seat here, actually. Is this time for an Instagram post, maybe? Anyone who follows my Instagram? Probably not many people. I haven't really promoted it much on this channel. It's Brendan X Explores, not EX, because that name was taken, unfortunately. What can you do? So I just changed the EX to X. So it's Brendan X Explores if you want to follow some stuff. And why don't I vlog while taking a photo? That's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Should we get the camera in? Yeah, let's get the camera in. Nice smile, guys. Give us a smile. Lovely jubbly. There we go. You've had a selfie with me. Well, kind of. And as we come into the deer park, we can see the Burwick Memorial. Because of the Burwick family, they used to own this place. I think for more than 160 years it stayed within the family, until 1947, when they handed it to the National Trust. I believe it was Thomas Burwick, the 6th or the 8th or something like that. Some noble line of descent anyway. Handed it back to the National Trust because he didn't have children. He had no one to hand this beautiful place down to. So he handed it to the National Trust, and this is the memorial in place to commemorate the Burwick family. Another interesting fact for you guys as well was during the First World War, Thomas Burwick let out this property, and we'll go and see the mansion shortly, for the use in the First World War between 1914 and 1918. I think at the height of its use, there was 60 beds and an operating theatre here. I've got the deers right in front of me. I'm going to start whispering a little bit so as not to disturb them. But I'm walking directly parallel to them now. Absolutely beautiful creatures. Even just walking up this footpath, I'm feeling quite intimidated walking up to this building. I suppose people would have in the day as well. It is certainly a building to behold. I guess that's your outhouse. See, I'd be quite happy with that for a house, to be fair. Just give me that. And we start the tour. So this is the basement. So someone please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. For all of these bells above my head here, as you can see there, it says second floor, ground floor. These would have been connected to the house upstairs, or so I believe, as and when somebody of nobility, should we say, would call for help, one of these bells would ring. Okay, so into the servants' quarters we go. And this strikes me as being a somewhat still grand building. If you look at the ceiling here and the detail, there was still quite a significant effort put into this building, into this room, to make it somewhat pleasing to the eye. And we've got some nameplates here. These must be the roles of the serving staff. The highest ranking footman who could deputise for the butler. Head coachman, Frederick Nash. So this would have been probably the highest man. And I think along the right here, we see some of the female staff members. One thing I've noticed actually, looking at some of this information on here, is that the women were paid significantly less than the men back in the day. 8 guineas. I think over here, this gentleman was paid 30 guineas. That is quite a significant difference. 3 times as much, can you believe? And this is the butler's sitting room, so I can only imagine that this is where the butler would have lived. And wow, looks like the butler was a drunk. There's a lot of alcohol here. And a piece of interesting information for you guys as well. One that you may already know of. Oh, was that a fire alarm? Never mind. One that you may already know of is that back in the day, in the 18th century, a lot of people didn't have free and easy access to water, believe it or not. So when you look around us here, beer and wine would have been the main drink to consume back in the day. I believe in the servants' quarters in the dining area, they would have mainly drank beer. And then as you went up the hierarchical scale of the serving staff, you would then be given wine. It looks like the butler has hoarded it all. Which of course the butler would have been one of the hierarchical serving staff. And that looks to be what he would have worn, his attire. Very suave. I tell you what, considering he was part of the serving staff, they didn't half live all right, you know. It's a nice room, nice sized room, beautiful living quarters. I'm thinking this was what, 200 or 300 years ago. I think the butler lived better than most of us do today. And there we are. That is the end of the basement tour. Rather interesting. Nice little insight into life back in the day. Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice little addition to today's walk. Oh, and that, ladies and gentlemen, about finishes us off at Attingham Park. Oh, it's good to get the mask off. If you think anyone else would be interested in watching this, then please go ahead and share it. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.